Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. The emptiness machine. Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a long one. But before we get into it, firstly, I have to say, really sorry that I had like 2 weeks without uploads. I didn't touch on it last week just because I filmed that 2 weeks prior. I recorded it at the end of the video, but it was like, this is not going to make any sense because it's too late now. But I went to a shitload of gigs the previous week, and the following week, which is the week that I got that video up, I was so ill. Flu was clearly on its way around at the time. I'm still semi getting over it. My throat's way better. But I'm still coughing every now and then. So, rough couple of weeks, but not compared to the people of Lebanon and Palestine as well. So, please keep your eyes on the Middle East at this time where you can. Support whatever videos you can, content creators that you watch, whether it's here on YouTube, on TikTok, Twitter. People need to remember and know what's going on because the narrative is changing. We cannot allow people to forget what the fuck has actually led up to a lot of the aggression in the Middle East. So, if you want to know of any places that you can donate or support, I will make sure to link those below. As I've mentioned before, it's not that I don't care about those causes at all. It is that sometimes you need something to distract you from the chaos in the world just so you can try and stay sane and keep the message going. I hope this gives you guys some, however long it's going to be to just sit, relax, because we are in a privileged position to be able to do that, unlike quite a lot of others. So, but that does not ever mean that I am forgetting the people of Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, or Yemen either. So please just know that. So today I sacrificed, which is not really a sacrifice considering what else is going on in the world right now, but I sacrificed my time to, I watched was it 3 or was it 4? I've lost track. It was 3 or 4 Shane Dawson conspiracy videos. 1 on the main channel and then quite a few on his second channel, Shane 2. Everybody's so creative. I noticed that quite a lot of those videos, even one he posted the day I was doing my research. By that I mean having to sit and watch and take notes of conspiracies to debunk. He posted one that day, but thankfully it was the podcast. I'm sorry, I'm not sitting through the podcast. I'm just not doing it. I've said this before, I'm not really a podcast watcher. They're too long. I like edited content for a reason. There's a reason why I make edited content. Just content I prefer to watch and to listen to. Get to the fucking point. There's only one podcast I've ever been able to watch, and even that I dropped off of, which was Johnny Ross's and not Kevin Hart. Kevin, I can't remember his last name. I watched theirs religiously because it was well edited and well produced, and I loved their opinions, but I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't. There is not enough brain cells that I have willing to die for that content. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. So I refused. And instead I watched the vloggy content, which was at least semi-watchable. I had to scroll through quite a lot of it at one point because, wow. If you haven't watched my previous debunking Shane Dawson conspiracy videos, please go and watch it. I was really proud of it. I spent a lot of time going through, was it 13 videos of his or something? I debunked page after page after page of conspiracies. That's also worth a watch if you're interested. I'll link it in the cards. I can't remember what the video was called. He talks about Stanley cups. I called this the second he started talking about it. Because first of all, he is one of the biggest consumer bitches for Stanley cups.
I never realized how many of these you had.
So, maybe hold that mirror up to your own face, Shane. He mentioned the fact that Stanley cups have just blown up in the industry of portable water containers, right? He is just as bad as all of these other people he was talking about, because even just as recent as he was showing in Ryland's video, I know that because I watch Pat Sajak, in that video and in one of his Shane 2 videos, he showed a Stanley cup that is some sort of American Halloween confectionery. He bought it
today because one of my Etsy's arrived, and it is this Stanley topper that looks like a Pillsbury Halloween cookie.
And he has so fucking many of those Stanley cups. And he said, why is everyone just buying them all of a sudden? I called it. And I heard Gabby Hanna in the back of my head going, it's marketing, guys.
It's marketing, guys.
It really was, though, in this instance. It really is just marketing. The reason that I didn't actually realise this was the reason, apparently, that Stanley cups went mental for a time period. I think they actually went mental prior to this, but maybe I'm wrong. It added to the bandwagon of popularity when there was a car inferno fire, and the only thing that was left was the Stanley Cup, and there was still ice left in the Stanley Cup.
But he's so concerned about if the Stanley spills. But what about if it melts? It was in a fire yesterday. It still has ice in it.
And they called bullshit because the fire hadn't really singed the top or the straw or anything like that. They tried to recreate the fire by throwing a Stanley Cup into a fire pit, causing direct flame to hit the Stanley Cup.
Okay, got it in there. Oh my god, the straw's melting.
Oh, that fast?
It's only been in there for 2 seconds.
No way. No way.
Oh my god, the handle.
No way.
Let's see if there's ice.
Oh, still
Nope.
water.
Still what?
I wish we could tell if the water was cool or not.
It may be that was just like a marketing ploy. It seems a bit much, I'm not gonna lie. Sure, maybe. Either way, that wasn't a true test of recreating the same environment. So that wasn't a fair test. But also, fire is unpredictable. Something in a drinks well may not be flammable as, I don't know, the rest of the car being furniture with fabric, etc. So that could be why. I mean, he's talked about previously the fires in LA where certain houses would dust basically on the ground compared to a house right next door or on the opposite side of the street, and those houses are completely fine. Fire is unpredictable. I don't know fire well enough, but what I do know is that direct flame versus indirect is not the fucking same. Part of the theory is that the reason this was a fake story, the fire, and they just stuck the Stanley Cup in it, was because the new owner had previously bought Crocs, that was it. He'd helped to market Crocs in a way that they again had like that boom moment. He's known for his marketing, he has a marketing degree or whatever. Basically he's good at business. But either way, I said, I'm pretty sure Stanley Cups were pretty popularised prior to this car fire thing, and that the car fire just added to it. Because they saw what happened, created a video to say,
Hey Danielle, my name is Terrence Riley. I'm the president of Stanley. And we've all seen your video. Wow, what an ordeal. And we're all really glad you're safe. I've seen a lot of comments that we should send you some Stanleys. Well, we're gonna send you some Stanleys. But there's one more thing. We've never done this before, and we'll probably never do it again, but we'd love to replace your vehicle. So check your DMs for details. Thanks, be safe, cheers.
They did something nice. They did that Mr. Beast thing where I know there's a lot of problems with Mr. Beast, but they put positivity in the world to create a positive mindset for their company, and then more people wanted to buy from it. Okay, so I've done a little bit more research in the numbers for Stanley Cup. So as you can see, when he bought the company around this kind of time, between 2019 and 2020, they had already, between 2020 and 2021, doubled their profit. And then in 2022, they again doubled from 194 million to 402 million in 2022. And then in 2023, they had a profit, well, I don't know if these are profits actually, what is this? Revenue, excuse me, of 750 million. So that car fire, I did a quick check, was posted November 15th, 2023. There is no fucking way 750 million was made from just over a month worth of purchasing. That's happened throughout the year, and maybe 100 million could be related to that car fire video, but I don't see it as the whole thing. There's no fucking way, especially as you've seen this natural progression anyway of revenue increasing. So I'm sorry, but I call complete bullshit on this theory. Okay, the next thing is cars are spying on us. If people are so fucking worried about being spied on, why do they insist on using smartphones? Go back to using the ones where you have to text using... Honestly, sometimes I miss having keys. A flip phone with, like, keys. Like the new Barbie one. Go back to those. If you're that worried about being spied on. Because majority of the time what we're being spied on for anyway is, like, marketing products to us to buy on Amazon. He also keeps buying the most techie fucking cars, like a Tesla and oh my god, I forgot what it's called again, that hideous Cybertruck. They bought a Cybertruck.
People are gonna be like, that's the most hideous, disgusting choice anybody's ever made.
Which one? Which one?
This one is yours?
My name's on it. Oh my
It
god.
says
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm crying. Why am I crying?
We're definitely gonna get made fun of.
After seeing my baby for the first time, I don't care. Roast me.
They bought a Cybertruck, they have a Tesla, they have a G-Wagon. They buy the techiest, most expensive fucking cars and then go, our cars are spying on us. Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I don't think you are, if you're this concerned about it. So they think that it's listening to them.
25 car brands from Nissan to Mercedes to Ford, and found every one of them collects drivers' personal data. Most admit they may be sharing it with the government.
And cars have the ability to collect so much of it, more probably than any device that we have, even maybe more than our phone.
They're also saying, like, there's charging stations everywhere, so when you plug your phone into these random charging stations in, like, airports or train stations or wherever else, it's taking data from your phone.
And it's not just your cars. Have you noticed that there are charging stations now everywhere? Coffee shops, airports, malls. Literally everywhere you go now, there are huge charging stations. They're stealing all of your fucking information every time you plug your phone in.
The FBI is now warning about public charging spots like these, saying hackers have been able to infect them with malware.
Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm gonna assume that they are taking your information.
I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. We put our data all over the web already. They don't need to take it through a charging station. Like, it's so stupid. By the way, the reason we have fucking charging stations everywhere is because these things don't hold charge anymore. They are literal mini fucking computers. Apple have admitted, and he even said this in a previous freaking conspiracy video, which again isn't a conspiracy because Apple told people they were doing it, that in somewhere in those 50 odd pages of terms and conditions that he, as in Shane, couldn't even bother to fucking read for his own conspiracy video, it says in there that when they constantly do these updates, it's not just for malware, it's to slow down your phone so you'll buy a new one. Because remember when we used to have a battery pack we used to be able to take out, charge, and just put in another battery pack? Do you remember the good old days? I sometimes miss them. I have to have one of those little mini chargers that I keep in my handbag and take with me to gigs. Because by the time I get to the gig and filmed like anything at a gig, I have to charge my phone on the way home. Otherwise, I have like maybe 10 to 20% left. Like, I'm rationing charge. So that's why we have charging stations everywhere. Because these things are built to burn out. Also, he threw into this as well about the fact that Elon Musk has successfully apparently put a chip into someone's brain.
Its first trial to test its implant on humans. Elon Musk's brain science company has implanted a device into a human for the first time. They're, quote, recovering well.
So if you think it's easy for them to steal information from you through your phone, just imagine what they could do through your brain.
Now, if you are stupid enough to allow Elon fucking Musk, who has destroyed Twitter, who makes cars that literally lock themselves, has actually been video of a mother with her child in the car, and the car like locked itself and she was trying to break the window to get in to save her child being in a fucking hot car, and Tesla deleted the video.
Charging her electric car at a Tesla supercharger station in Los Angeles. She says when she finished, the car suddenly locked on its own, trapping her toddler Liam. It was a scorching 109 degrees outside. This is not the first time a Tesla has apparently locked on its own. A similar occurrence happened to a grandmother in Arizona 4 months ago when she put her granddaughter in the back seat of her Tesla. Says she took her Tesla for service to find out what went wrong. She claims that footage of the incident was missing after the car was serviced.
The only reason she had it is because she like screen recorded it at the time. She raised it to Tesla and Tesla went in and deleted the video and tried to minimize the story. Anyone allowing that man, who has a corrupt ass fucking dangerous business with not only Twitter but like Tesla and the Cybertrucks, which have you seen some of these hilarious videos of people testing their Cybertrucks? It's so fucking funny.
Everybody's been waiting for this, the finger. Without further ado, giant Yeti cooler. You couldn't do that to any normal truck.
There's no other truck that can handle off-roading like the Cybertruck.
Cybertruck got to this little hump right here. It just could not clear it. It spun its wheels a little bit and then gave up. Also tried airing down the tires, which in most cases would help, but in this case, they still couldn't clear the obstacle. And a Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness cleared the obstacle with 0 problems. A Cybertruck went to the beach and got cyber stuck.
If you're so worried about that, why do you keep buying his products? Next conspiracy is Sephora kids.
They go up to the sample section and quite literally destroy everything and make a huge mess that they don't even bother cleaning up.
Like, I don't really understand what this conspiracy was. Bad parenting, lack of boundaries, not understanding the word no. I don't know. I said it's sad because kids don't get childhood anymore because they have these things and the people they're watching are older than them. We used to watch things with our age range. Like, we were watching things like, well, I did anyway, Lizzie McGuire and things on Nickelodeon. And it was more tailored to us, obviously, but kids, especially of like such young ages, of like 9 to 12 or whatever, they're emulating what they see. We all used to do that. We were no better. They want to put things like retinols and stuff on their skin, which are literally damaging their skin. In which case, parents, this is your job to say no. The person you're looking at is in their 30s and needs a retinol. Someone even said, like, they weren't going to pay the drunk elephant price tag for their 13, 14-year-old daughter or whatever it was. So they just filled up a container, so the adult had used the drunk elephant, filled it up with, like, CeraVe, and then gave it to their kid. And the kid doesn't fucking know any different. Also, I don't actually understand how someone hasn't jumped on, like, Simple, for example, or Clean and Clear, or Clearasil, or someone like that, hasn't jumped on the skincare bandwagon and promoted stuff that is actually good for kids' skin. You know, probably just like lotion or zit cream or something like that would actually be really, really good for them. It'd be tailored to their age range so it wouldn't ruin their skin and it would make them a shitload of money. Like, I actually don't understand why no one's done that yet. So the theory is, why is Gen Z aging so fast?
We live in a time nowadays where millennials look way younger for their age, while Gen Z looks way older for their age. If you don't believe me, I'm Gen Z.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because he circled back to it. I forgot about that. He was like, oh, so maybe they're actually onto something because they're getting on top of the aging fast thing. They're not. We were sat in front of televisions for years. I remember being sat so fucking close to a television, it's ruined my eyes for the rest of my life. He said, like, the reason, because kids have become iPad kids, and this has blue light in it, and blue light is aging everybody. So why is it that apparently 30-year-olds all look younger? I don't know. Well, we've had them as long as fucking kids have. But then he showed the most hilarious thing, which was the... He showed this AI creation called Mindy.
Mindy is what we are going to evolve into because of our addiction to technology. Hunchbacked, tech claw, 90-degree elbow, tech neck, a thicker skull with a smaller brain, a second fucking eyelid. Why a second eyelid? Because as we evolve and as our brains and our bodies realize how harmful blue lights from our phones are, our body will evolve.
It was the creepiest looking thing. And he was like, oh yeah, we're all going to look like this because we're all going to have tech neck and we're all going to have smaller heads because we don't use our brain as much. People don't realise how much we use our brains just waking up. Our brain does so much for us. It tells our heart to beat. It tells our lungs to breathe. It tells everything around our bodies while we also think, while we speak, while we move our hands. Like, our brain does so much shit for us. If you think that our brain is going to shrink and we are going to devolve, not evolve. He said we were going to evolve. We're not evolving then, are we? We're devolving. Like, if he thinks we're going to devolve, then he doesn't appreciate what our brains do on a daily basis. Oh yeah. Also, we didn't evolve during the 80s when the most harmful shit, asbestos, hairspray, all of the bombs through the atmosphere over the past 100 years. We haven't evolved because of that, but he thinks tech neck is going to make us finally evolve. I just can't with Shane Dawson. I really can't. Oh, he said we're ingesting microplastics.
90% of our food has plastic in it.
We're eating and drinking more plastic than we might have realized.
Dude, apparently every other food gives us fucking cancer. So why are we worried at this point? Oh, he was talking about the plastic American cheese that doesn't melt but sets on fire.
Now on cheese slices, it doesn't actually say cheese, it says cheese product.
Prepared cheese products.
That's because that ain't cheese. Oh, and it doesn't melt, no matter how hard you try.
This stuff, I know you hate it, but it's packed full of so many emulsifiers that if I drop it in, it actually stops the whole mixture from splitting. The reason I'm doing it one by one is because it takes a little while to melt.
How many times is he going to use the same fucking points in all of these different conspiracies? It's exhausting. Oh, they had a point about the fact that we're apparently inhaling plastic in the air.
When you're sitting in your living room and there's a ray of light and you can see all the particles in the light, a lot of those are probably plastic.
It is dust. It is hair follicles or skin follicles, and they're trying to say oh, that's plastic. I literally just saw a cat hair. It's dust. It's not plastic. Are you okay? Oh my god, I forgot about this. They said that more people are being diagnosed with ADHD because we're eating more plastic.
The question is, why do all Gen Zers have ADHD?
Over the past 10 years, we have witnessed the rate of children diagnosed with ADHD has increased by over 42%.
Well, what is ADHD? Oh yeah, a neurodevelopmental disorder. Wait a minute, isn't that a side effect of eating fucking plastic?
No. The reason more people are being diagnosed with ADHD is because we understand it better. Young girls were almost never, ever diagnosed with ADHD because ADHD, the hyperactivity part, shows itself more in young boys than it does young girls. Like period products that only just this year or last year or whatever it was, in the last year, did they actually start to test them with blood rather than just liquid. We are so far behind on the mental healthcare for women. It is fucking insane because everything, even pills, like the pill for contraception, 70% of the recipients that they were tested on was men. Make it make fucking sense. That's why people are being diagnosed more with ADHD now than they were before. It's because we've got a better understanding of it in both sexes now. Okay, next one was a fake food theory around ice cream sandwiches. That they don't melt.
I'm gonna leave it in my pantry overnight. I'm gonna put it right here. It is 11:30. So the ice cream sandwich has been in the pantry for 12 hours. Oh my god!
He left an ice cream sandwich out for 12 hours and the ice cream in it didn't melt. That was the theory. He could just look at the fucking package. It is ice cream, but it's not homemade ice cream that will melt because it has less dairy in it. Was it guar gum or something like that?
Walmart's ingredient list includes corn syrup, guar gum, and cellulose gum.
That it had a gum in it, which kept the particles together, a bit like a panna cotta or a jelly or something like that. It's gum. It's gum. Gum doesn't melt. They've found cheaper alternatives, especially in American food. No offense, there's a lot of chemicals in your food compared to English food. That's just scientific fact. Just look at the ingredients. The reason they've been able to make things cheaper is because they find a cheaper source of protein or whatever it's going to be to put into it to replace something that was expensive, so that the product stays cheap or becomes cheaper and that more people are going to be able to purchase it. Can they use any rational, logical thought at all in any of these conspiracy theories? Because it made me feel like I was going to lose my mind. The next one was around Project Bluebeam. I don't know. Oh, this is when he was sat down with his brother Jared. They now call them UAPs, not UFOs. UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon. They were like, oh, this gives it a better name rather than UFOs, because UFOs, unidentified flying objects, made people sound crazy. Phenomenon sounds more like legit. No, it doesn't. Also, who the fuck is calling it a UAP? So they were talking about fireballs and fake aliens. I honestly can't even remember what this was about. I think I may have tuned out.
Family called 911 claiming to see aliens in their backyard.
The fireball captured on a police body cam on the night of April 30th was real. The American Meteor Society says witnesses reported seeing it all across the West.
A lot of the phenomenons that happen are likely military personnel. It's going to be drones, some sort of military weapons and things like that. They can't tell you about it. So they let you think it's aliens. Because they let you think it's aliens, it causes way less hysteria. Because people just go, yeah, okay, you're just crazy. So his theory is they want us to be afraid of alien invasion using predictive media.
Let us all be able to imagine what this would look like, and the best way to do that is through movies and predictive programming.
they showed a bunch of movies and then showed that some of these things are actually happening, like the chips in your brain. The reason those things happen and that they showed it in media first is because people get creative of the possibilities that may happen in 30 to 40 years. And then a rich person goes, that's actually a really good fucking idea. Let's latch onto that, work on that, and then people will buy it because everyone thinks wireless headphones, great idea. Having like a flat screen television, great fucking idea. Having a chip in your brain rather than having to constantly bring your phone up to your face, great idea. I don't, but like specifically for that one. But you know what I mean? I actually said to someone, this was years ago, that I don't know if you remember Total Recall. Almost everything they did in Total Recall, bar, you know, the lucid dream thing, they have done now. And they did it like within 10 to 15 years of that movie. And then the remake of Total Recall came out with Colin Farrell and Kate Beckinsale. And they had a phone in the hand. We basically have that now. Not just a portable phone, but a portable computer in your hand at any sort of time. But obviously we're getting to the point of chips in the brain. Kingsman showed that rich people get their ideas from media of other smart people. Not everything, but quite a few things. So that's all that is. It's just rich people getting richer and using other people's ideas for themselves.
Actually project holographic images into the sky to actually make us see the alien invasion. And then the fourth step is to basically, at that point, we're all united, and then they're gonna have us go into underground bunkers, they're gonna put us into submarines, and the few that are lucky enough are gonna survive this end of the world apocalypse.
My thought was, so is it fake or real then? Because that doesn't make sense. Also, the people who are going to go into bunkers, do you know the UK has like no bunkers? Other countries are way more prepared for a World War III, which we are so fucking close to, than the UK is. If the UK ever gets hit with bombs again, we're fucked. We're done. I'll see you guys in the next life, because we don't have bunkers here. If we do, maybe I'm just not told. The rich definitely know. The poor don't. They're not fucking putting the all us people in there. It's all the rich people that... Some people that when this world goes to shit and when we've completely ruined it out of greed, rich people are the ones that are going to go and fuck up another planet. I don't know what their project fake alien imagery is, because either if it's fake, wouldn't the world still be fine when we come out? I don't get that. Also, a point I wanted to make, if there is other life out there, which there has to be because, you know, it's pretty egoic for us to think we're the only life out of all the universes. Like, we might be the only planet with life in our Milky Way galaxy, but all the other universes, definitely. Maybe not that looks like us, speaks like us, but I hope they are thriving. I hope that they aren't destroying their planet that was perfect enough distance away from its sun and its moon. It was able to thrive, and we weren't just allowing animals like polar bears or rhinos or elephants, all these other animals and their habitats to die from our own greed. Can you imagine if another civilization saw the way we have treated our planet out of pure fucking greed? The rich people who all they try and do is get richer and richer and richer could have allowed people to not only live in poverty but die from starvation and polio and other diseases that they could literally spend their money on and cure. They could help all of these people, and they choose not to because they would rather have those zeros in their bank account. I wouldn't even be fucking shocked if I knew that they'd seen what we had done as human beings to this planet, to each other, and gone, don't want to touch that with a fucking barge pole, gone about their way. I wouldn't blame them, because we have ruined this planet. Anyway, sorry, just getting on my soapbox for a sec. Okay, next one was one of Shane's videos, which, like, Shane was constantly going on about the lighting.
Did Chris, this is on manual, right? Do you know like what frame rate it is and everything? I don't know if Chris had messed with settings for the podcast.
Frame rate? She looks really dark. Why does she look so dark?
The lighting is against her.
Oh, there she is.
Hey. Like, oh my god, you like look so much better there than you did there. And it's like, Shane, are you okay? You've been on YouTube for more than 10 years and you don't know that backlighting versus being lighted from the front makes people look better? There's a reason why I'm using a ring light, you know? My shirt, I mean, I've gone over it about 20 times. There's still cat hair on this. But this ring light, the way this camera is set up, makes it look like I'm hoping. Normally, I don't have cat hair on me, but I literally have like cat hair all here. This was part of the crumble cookie fiasco video. But one of the things was that Teslas can detect ghosts.
Did you know that Teslas can detect ghosts?
Alright, we're in a cemetery. Please show yourself if you're...
It can't. They went to a cemetery and drove through it, and they kept saying like, oh my god, this place is so beautiful, oh my god, it's like gorgeous here. Certain cemeteries are absolutely fucking stunning, and if you want to go for a walk through a cemetery and say hello to some graves that may not show respect, obviously, but may not get visitors, for example, while you're there, it's a great idea. But I don't understand why they didn't show any of the outside. They just kept showing the screen. It's really beautiful.
It really is beautiful.
Well, no ghosts.
No ghosts.
There was no detection of any people on the screen. It was a waste of 30 minutes. Build up, I swear. Part that Fat Sajak has gone through previously. I watched obviously her video, but watching it again, it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Shane didn't realise that one of crumble cookies that are like really thick and big, he didn't realise that one of those cookies had like 900 calories in it, even though it will say that on their fucking website.
What would you do if I told you that that cookie is the same amount of calories as this entire meal? Girl, what?
When I was in secondary school, high school, I was around like 13, 14 or something, and I vividly remember someone saying that a Krispy Kreme donut has the same amount of fat content as 4 or 5 Big Macs or something. I will never forget hearing that, because I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. How is he 37, 38 years old with 2 fucking kids and only just finding out that sweets have more calories in them than protein? How has he survived? They spent a whole video on a Dominos theory that ended up being not true. So Fat Sajak turns around a lot and says like, oh, this is their tax reductions or like at the end of the year. And this video was a perfect example of this. Shane bought a party bus. Specifically to drive to Domino's, pay for Domino's, wait for their delivery driver to deliver it to his mum. They followed this delivery driver. They stalked, this delivery driver from Domino's in a party bus, doing his job, lost him, drove to the mum's house, and then saw a different delivery driver there.
Sending your order to the store, almost done. Thank you for your patience. It says that they're prepping our order right now. Do you notice any prepping going on?
Yeah, there's some prepping going on.
It just switched over to bake.
Dude, they just finished putting some of them into bake.
Did they put something in the oven?
It's accurate so far.
Oh, it changed? If he delivers at this place and then it's out for order?
It says delivery right now!
So he just dropped it! Oh my god, it is!
Did we follow the wrong Domino's car?
Oh, it's a different driver.
That's a different driver.
Did we follow, oh my god, we followed the wrong one!
All because I forgot to even tell you what the theory was, because it was so stupid. The app that shows the tracker, that was automated.
Preparing your order. Then it says, oh, we're baking. And then it says, oh, we're quality checking. And then it gives you a person and it says, oh, Marcus is on his way. Oh, he's 10 minutes away. He's almost there. Did you know that that whole tracking system is fake?
No.
Now, the first 3 points of that is automated. It's been confirmed by actual Domino's workers. So that part is automated. It's like an automated sort of timer of, has it been received? By the time the order has been received, it'll be put in the oven within this time period. So they were in there watching these people make these pizzas and put them in the oven, and they were like, it's not showing in the oven, even though they just put one of them in the oven. They had 4 pizzas. I imagine it was going to do that. They'd approximately finished the last pizza. They'd confirmed, like, nobody's going in and pressing any buttons. Fucking Domino's workers have told people that. So, like, you didn't need to be standing there. You could have just done any TikTok research and a Domino's employee would have told you that. The thing that is timed, like, and monitored properly is when the delivery driver picks it up, because they have to say, yep, that one's done and out for delivery. And the delivery driver likely has to put your info into their car to know where the fuck they're going. And they were using this person who said like, oh, but they're only a minute away, and then all of a sudden they're 3 minutes away.
When he turned onto the street, the tracker was showing that he was less than a minute away, but then it updated to 3 minutes away, even though he was just several houses down.
You are not the only person on there freaking on the route. There could be other people who have also ordered pizza, and they're going to them first because they're dropping that person's pizza off and then maybe talking to them, or maybe like they're not happy with something and they were like, oh, you're gonna have to call this person or that person or do this or whatever. It's taken an extra 2 minutes, so it added that extra 2 to 3 minutes onto the delivery time that wasn't originally expected. People need to remember they're not the only people in the world. You may be your main character, and you know, all well and good, you go have an incredible fucking main character story in your book, but you ain't the main character of everybody's. And then he just had, so Shane apparently had been a long time ago almost sued, if not a class action lawsuit had been put forward to him when he made that Chuck E. Cheese video ages ago, where it was like, oh, they reuse slices or whatever. They don't. And then obviously he's going after Domino's. He thinks that they don't actually press a button for each of these things and it's just an AI timer sort of thing, which, like I say, majority of it is. Which, when in the fucking video, they were basically on the time anyway, so it worked. So I don't know why people are pissed off about it. I'm almost done, I swear. And then they get to the mum's house, they get the pizza delivered, and in the oven is some other boxes of pizzas from a different pizza restaurant.
Do you want to pull out a little something something?
Oh! I know Pasquale's!
This is the third time that Shane has brought up Chuck E. Cheese or Pasquale's in a conspiracy video. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like beating a fucking dead horse. He bought that pizza, by the way, simply to say, pizza tastes better. Oh, we've all been eating pizza wrong. This is not a conspiracy.
That we've been eating pizza wrong our entire lives. We could make a disgusting pizza even taste good. You're supposed to eat pizza upside down.
It was just an excuse for him to bring up Chuck E. Cheese, buy Pasquale's, because he already literally had a pizza that he could have done this with. That was literally why he bought that pizza. That he still tried to make that, oh, they still don't, it's been years and they still don't fit together.
Is it Chuck E. Cheese?
The reason it doesn't fit together is because they use this huge fucking rock knife, which makes everything fucking move around.
The uneven topping look comes from the blade we use. The rocking blade has next to no edge on it for safety reasons. Therefore, it's an absolute pain when it comes to cutting pizzas with it, which is what gives it the Frankenstein look, if you will. The process of transferring the pizzas from the cooking rack onto the cutting board and finally onto the serving tray is also contributing to the jostled appearance that some of the pizzas have.
Someone tested this not long after Shane made this big deal about it. During COVID, when they had no customers, and their pizzas still looked like that.
Our own field experiments support these claims. Remember, we ordered all of our pizzas during lockdown. The dining rooms are closed at every restaurant that we ordered a pizza from. We know for a fact that none of our 10 pizzas came from other customers' leftovers. As a result, when we opened our pizza boxes and saw Frankenstein-y looking pizzas, it really told us something. It told us that there is no way that leftovers are part of this mystery.
So how could they have reused slices when there was no fucking customers? So like, this whole thing is bullshit. And the fact that he keeps trying to sell it, I hope Chuck E. Cheese sues you. That's enough brain rot for today. I can't deal with anymore, and I still have to edit this. So I'm hoping to have this up this weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please, it needs to be worthwhile. If you want to see more debunking conspiracy videos of Shane Dawson or anyone else, if there's other creators you want me to debunk, let me know in a comment below. Also, if you have any ideas what you want me to do for Halloween season, because best season ever. October's a great month, but I get older every October. Aging is a privilege, not everyone gets to age. Aging is a privilege. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.